I'm not mistaken. Bill, you all know Bill and Elizabeth. Bill has been a consultant with us for a long time. He's one of our leaders, and we learn a lot every time we hear from Bill. So, Bill Keller, come take it away. I'm going to try to get this set up for you. Bill Keller!
Thank you. Can I have everybody's attention right here? Everybody's attention? Thank you. I love attention. Is this working?
Up there, let's see. Okay, there you go.
So glad to be here. As I guess you know by now, Bill Keller, my wife Elizabeth, and I'm going to talk today about how to market using mailing lists. You know what, Melissa, I have the same problem you do. I need to see the screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, we have a YouTube channel. That's how we do all of our marketing exclusively now on YouTube. And when I got into it for a while, I really believed in honing my skills. And so I started reading books. I started taking classes from, social media gurus and things like that to learn how to do it. And a lot of them had many different ideas of how to do it, but almost every one of them agreed on one thing. And that is, there's money in the list. There's money in the list, in the mailing list. Okay? So, let me tell you about my first 20 consultants. When I first started with Thrive and doing it on YouTube, I had no interest in building a team. I just wanted to do retail sales. Quite frankly, I wished it was just an affiliate company and not a networking company. Boy, was I wrong. But so on our channel, we were doing Cooking with Thrive videos, and where I was always talking about trying to sell the food. I never once mentioned that it was a business opportunity or a network marketing company. Never once. But people know what network companies are. And so they would go to the website to buy some food, and they would discover on the website that it was a business opportunity, and they would sign up. Well, so I started getting these people signing up in my downline, and quite frankly, I didn't have a clue what to do with them. I had no training available for them. I didn't know how to train them. I didn't know how to contact them. So you know what I did? Nothing. And after I had about 20 consultants under me, I realized this ain't going to stop. I'm going to have to do something here. But you know what happened to those first 20 consultants? I never contacted any of them because I didn't know what to say or what to do. You know what happened to them? They all went away. Every single one. They dropped away because they didn't have my support. They didn't have my training. They were just a lone wolf out there, didn't have a clue what to do. Every one of them just quit. So, then I started to realize that I needed to do something. And what I came across was the use of mailing lists. And so what is the advantage of a mailing list? You're going to have more regular, consistent, and ongoing contact with team members, with customers, and with prospects. And I've heard marketing studies done, and I don't know the exact number, but most people don't buy on the first contact. Maybe you know the numbers, I don't know, but they have to see you a certain number of times. I've heard 7 times or 10 times. Do you know the number?
Yeah, like you said, standard is 7 is what they say.
7, yeah. Mm-hmm. They need to have contact with Thrive Life and with you at least 7 times. Now for me, on my YouTube channel, they see that because we do a monthly cooking video on our YouTube channel, so if they watch it, they're going to see that 7 times. That's the drip method. They keep seeing me over and over and over again. You would be surprised, I'm surprised, at how many people sign up as, well, just as a customer, but they tell me, I've watched every one of your cooking videos before they signed up. Every one of them. We have 43 cooking videos. They've watched every one. Talk about drip method. So now if you don't have a YouTube channel or a Facebook group or something like that, how can you do the drip method? Through mailing lists. You get people onto your mailing list, you can have ongoing contact with them. You can use the drip method, and after a number of mailings that they receive from you, there's a good chance that they're going to buy something or become a consultant. Another thing that it does is it allows you to build relationships with people that you wouldn't normally have. You don't see them personally, but they feel like they're building a relationship with you either through email or text or however you're doing it. And Melissa was talking about systems. I love systems. And a mailing list actually puts your marketing and your follow-up on autopilot. You do it once and you forget it. You set it up and then you put them into your system and you forget it. The system does all the work for you. I love this. I absolutely love this. Now here's another thing too. If you have any kind of a social media presence, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, this is very important. You own your list. You know, if you have a channel or if you have a Facebook group and you do something that Facebook or YouTube or Twitter doesn't like, they can shut you down. And especially in this, well, you know everything that's going on. They can shut you down, and if they do, you're out of luck. What are you going to do? If you have your mailing list, then you take your customers with you. And so that's a very important concept. Now, there are several different types of mailing lists. Email autoresponders. This is the old school thing. It's been around for decades. And there's a newer version, the new guy on the block, texting autoresponders. So let's talk about the two and what's the difference. So email autoresponder has some advantages. First of all, it has a nice format. You can set up multiple graphics. You can use as much unlimited text as you want. And I get emails from several of my upline people that are very well done, very professional looking. It really looks good. So that's one of the advantages. Also, it's very easy to send downloadable documents with an email. You just attach it down below. They can just download it right into their computer. Very fast and easy. Some disadvantages to emails. It has a very low open rate. Out of every 100 emails that you send out, how many get actually opened?
20%.
Especially among younger people, emails are just not the thing anymore. They just don't communicate that way. And so the open rate is between 20 and 25%. So you send out 100 emails, you might get 20 people or 25 people that open it. I heard that and I was appalled. And I was talking to Jeff Warnick about that because he uses an email autoresponder. And he said, yeah, that's about right. He says about 20% open rate. That to me is an extreme disadvantage to email. Another thing is that it's much more awkward dialogue or response time. You send out an email, do the people even check the email? I know some people, right, that check their email once a week, maybe. Do they even check their email? And when they do, they open it up and here's all these emails. They have to pick yours out and decide to answer it. It might be a week before they see it, and then they respond to you, and then you don't see it until you get home from work or whatever you're doing, and then you open it up and then you type out a response, and then they get it the next day, and it can take a week and a half to do any kind of correspondence like that. It's so slow and awkward in response time. So now let's talk about the advantages of a texting autoresponder. First of all, and this is, when I first looked at doing emails or doing mailing lists, I was playing around with Aweber, which is one of the email autoresponders. But someone in my downline turned me on to texting autoresponders, and this is the fact that she told me that made up my mind very quickly. A very high open rate, 90% plus. If you send out a text, 9 times out of 10 people are going to open it and they're going to see it, usually right away, but at least certainly within a couple of hours. Because what happens? What do you do if you're just, all of a sudden your phone dings? Oh, I got an email. I got a text. What is it? You open it up, right? You read it right away. That's, to me, is the biggest advantage of a texting autoresponder. It's much more personal. They think you actually sat down and texted them personally. And I've had many people respond to me. There was an automated text that went out, and they respond back to me, and I can tell, thank you so much for taking the time. You know, oh, I didn't do that. It was all automatic, but they don't know that. It's much more personal. It's actually the new way that people communicate.
That's for sure.
Elizabeth used to teach piano, and some of her older students, I mean teenagers instead of 8-year-olds, you know, that had their own phones, she would try to call them to arrange a schedule change or something. They never answered their phone, ever. They never listened to voice messages, ever. The only way you could contact them was with text.
That's right.
It's just the way, especially with younger people, texting is just the way it's done now. In fact, if you want to call somebody on the phone, you have to text them and say, is it okay if I call you? Right?
It's true.
Texting is the new way. I heard a guy on Instagram the other day talking about the phone. He was saying, my parents had something they called a phone, and it plugged into the wall, and you know what they did? They actually talked to people on it. He said, to me, my phone is just a little used app in my phone. Texting is just the way it's done now. And oops, it's got a very fast response time. Because when you send a text out, people are going to get that notification and open it. There's a good chance if they're going to respond to you that they'll do it right away or within an hour or very quickly. Your phone dings, you get that response, and you can text them right back, and you can have a chat going back and forth on the text in about 15 or 20 minutes. That would take you over a week with email, because text is just so much faster. And you can text from your phone app or from your computer. And I love this. I can sit down at my desk, at my computer, I can see the texts that come in, I can click on it, respond to it by typing on my keyboard, and then send it out. And that way, if I have a link that I want to give them, I have it saved in my computer, I just grab it, add it to the text, send it out. You can add links and stuff in your phone, but it's much more complicated. I love doing texting on my computer. And then delay and scheduled chat. I love this too. I'm a very early morning person. I'm many times up by 4:30 or 5 in the morning, and my brain is the most productive between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. And so I'll get up in the morning, and well, because of that, many times I'm in bed real early. So somebody that lives on the West Coast, like Melissa said, we have customers all over the place. Somebody that lives on the West Coast will get home from work at 6, and at 7:30 they'll start working on their delivery service, and then they have a question, so at 8 o'clock they text me. Well, that's 11 o'clock my time. I don't get it because I'm already in bed. So I get up at 5 in the morning, I see their text, I start typing it out, and then all of a sudden I realize, oh wait, it's 5 a.m. It's 2 a.m. in California. I don't want to send it out to them because depending on what ringtone they have, I might wake them up. So I can delay it. I can type it out, and then I can schedule it to be released at noon my time, which is 9 their time. So I can do all that in the morning and be done with it, and it's going to go out automatically, and I don't have to remember at noon to go back and send them a text. So I love that. Now, there are a few disadvantages as well. Limited format. The texting system that I use, and I'll show you that in a minute, you can use a graphic in their text, but you can only use one graphic, not like email where you can put a bunch of them. And you're limited to 1,024 characters, which means you have to sometimes become a real wordsmith to get it in there. And you write it in, and then you run out of characters, so you go back and you see what words you can eliminate and try to fit it in there. So that is a little bit of a challenge, but here's how I've discovered to fix it that works very well. Because of YouTube, I'm a video guy. I can't go anywhere without that camera in my face, as you see. So what I do is I will record a video with the information that I want. I upload it to YouTube. Now, I don't know if you know this about YouTube or not, but you can upload something and make it a public video, or you can make it, it's called unlisted, which means nobody can see it unless you give them the link. So I'll record a video about the information. I just recorded a video about the 3X sale for the referral link, and I sent it out to all of my customers. And in the text, I just tell them there's this great promotion going on right now. Here's all the details, and I give them the link, and they go watch the video. They actually prefer watching the video to reading something anyway, and it makes it much more personal because they see my face. So that's how I overcome the 1,024 characters. Another disadvantage, when you get a new customer and they put their phone number in there, it might be a landline, or sometimes they don't give a phone number. And so if it's a landline, you're going to lose them. You can't contact them this way. But the way I figure is, that only happens very rarely. I haven't actually figured it out, but maybe 2 or 3% of the time. And considering the open rate that I'm getting 90% response instead of 20%, I live with that. Now, if you want to, you can write an email that you send out to somebody who doesn't give your phone number. But I just kind of live with that one. Also, it can be more difficult to send documents. You have to place it somewhere online where they can download it or something, Google Drive or something. And I haven't figured any of that out yet, quite frankly. But some people can do that. I don't know how to do that. So, how do autoresponders work? Well, basically, there are a number of different email autoresponders, Aweber and MailChimp being two. There are a number of different texting autoresponders, and the one that I use is called Project Broadcast. So from now on, and I will give you some links to this at the end. But from now on, I'll be talking pretty specifically about Project Broadcast. But all the concepts that I'm teaching here, you can basically do in any responder, texting or email responder. They might call them different things, but you can do basically the same kinds of things with that. So the first thing I want to talk about is campaigns. What is a campaign? It's a series of messages that you design and write, and then they can be sent out automatically at periodic intervals that you determine and schedule ahead of time. So, like for instance, I have a campaign geared towards business opportunity seekers, what I call BizOp. And so I've designed that so I have 10 texts that get sent out, one per day for the next 10 days. One that I designed for my new delivery customers, I send them an email like every day for a couple days, and then I send them another one a week later, and then I send them one a month later. I wrote them, I designed them. So campaigns are very powerful, and that's what puts everything on autopilot for you. So what are the types of campaigns? Well, first, I have a campaign for my new consultants. When I sign up new consultants, how do you onboard? That's a term I hear other companies use. We don't hear it here, but how do you train them? How do you train new consultants? Well, the best way is just to simply get on the phone and talk to them. But considering many people won't answer the phone, they only text, and considering sometimes scheduling is almost impossible to get a hold of somebody, you try to call them over and over and over again, and they never answer, and they never call you back. So I have found that doing a text campaign to give them information about training, like for me, I have a Facebook group just for my team. I give them the links for that and some of the different things that they need to do. And so I use my consultant campaign to welcome them and to train them. And so in the first one, the welcome video or text that I send out, I've done a welcome video that I put the link there so that they can get a personal welcome from me. Customers. I actually have two different campaigns here. One is for new delivery customers, the other is for new retail customers, because I'm going to talk to them differently. For the delivery customer, I discovered that I had a lot of people who were very frustrated with the delivery service because they couldn't figure it out. And instead of contacting me and asking, they would struggle with it for 2 or 3 months, and then they would just quit because they didn't understand it. Or I was getting so many people asking the same questions over and over again about the delivery service. So I did a video tutorial about the delivery service, and I include the link to that in my first text. that cut down the questions that I was getting probably by 50 or 60%. And now I have a lot less people dropping out of delivery because they're not confused by it, they understand it. So that's one of the many texts that I send out to my new delivery customers. And then the retail customers, part of what I do there is encourage them that, it really is much cheaper if you join the delivery service. You're actually going to save 27% if you do that. Now, a lot of people use the 15%. You're going to save 15% on prices, and plus free shipping. Free shipping, or shipping is what? 12%. And in Canada, it's 16%. So I like to tell them, you're going to save 27%. That's 15% off prices plus 12% shipping you don't have to pay for. So that's 27%. If you're in Canada, that's 31% you're going to save. And that to me is more impressive than just telling them the 15%. So you can see that my campaigns for my delivery customers or my retail customers are different. So I have two different campaigns to deal with that. Then I have prospects, the BizOp, the business opportunity. This is geared towards new consultants. Someone who's interested in the business opportunity, I enroll them in this, and I send them out all of these texts over the next, that's the one I told you I have 10 texts over the next 10 days. The first one includes the BizOp video. Now, this is a video that I did that explains why I love Thrive. It gives my story. It tells a lot about Thrive as a business. I'm kind of proud of it. I actually did it just a couple months ago when we were on the vacation trip, the fantasy trip in Cancun, walking all around the resort. I did it. It was really cool. I'll let you see that in a little while. But so people who are interested in learning more about the business, they are enrolled in the prospects in the BizOp campaign. Another thing is recipes.
Hey Bill, I have a question about that.
Yes.
If they end up enrolling, do you pull them out of that campaign? Do you have a system for tracking or checking that, or they're just going to get it?
There's a lot of this stuff you can enroll people by importing from, into your project broadcasting, but I don't do that. I do everything manually. You really, realistically, you don't have that much business that you can't handle that. It's usually one or two a day at most. So when someone signs up as a consultant, when I go to put them into the consultant campaign, I realize, they're already in the BizOp campaign, so then I manually take them out of that one and put them into the consultant campaign instead.
I just realized, I think there's an auto setting that if you add them to one, it can remove them from another.
Yes,
maybe.
there is, yeah, but I haven't set that up yet.
If you're importing a bunch of them or something.
Right, right.
Cool.
So the recipes campaign, this is not something that I've done because I have my Cooking with Thrive videos on YouTube where the drip method through there. If you don't have that, you can do this. And Jody is actually a master at that because I get her, she uses email for that one. I get an email from her every month.
I do it on text now too, I do both.
What's that?
I do it on text now too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Good.
But I get an email from her every month where she took the monthly specials and found a recipe that uses those products and sends out that recipe. And so if you have someone who's interested but hasn't yet become a consultant, or even someone who is, not a consultant, a customer, or even someone who is a customer but you want to continue to support them, you put them in the recipes campaign, and then you can blast out text to them every month with a recipe. And so that's very powerful. And then conversions. I love this. You can convert customers to consultants. You can convert retail customers to delivery customers. And you can tell all of your customers about the referral program. Do you tell every one of your customers about the referral program? This is an easy way to do that because that's one of the things that I include in one of my new customer campaigns. And then the business e-card. How many people have business cards? Okay, only a few. But I get this question. A lot of my people, consultants that sign up, are older, like me. And the first thing they ask is business card. Business cards, they still have some use, but they are kind of obsolete. And the problem with a business card is you give it to somebody they can't find it when they want it. You don't have any contact with them and you don't know if they ever really looked at your website or anything like that. How about an e-business card? So I'm going to talk about something in a minute called keywords. But if I'm talking to somebody and they want a business card, I just tell them to send the keyword info, which is the word that I chose, to my texting number, and they'll automatically get a text back that gives my name, phone number, email address, my Thrive Life website, my YouTube address, all of that. So they have all that information there. So what happens? They don't lose it. Instead of a business card that you hand to them, they lose it, they don't know where it is. It's in their phone, it's always there, they know where to find it unless they decide to delete it. Now, here's another really cool thing, okay? Watch this. What have you done when you do that? You have captured their contact information. You now have their phone number, so you can have ongoing contact with them. You can text them a week later and say, hey, did you ever get a chance to look at the website or whatever? If you just give somebody a business card, you don't have that opportunity.
How do you know who they are?
What?
If they just texted you info, how do you know who they are when you see a phone number?
Yes, that's true. They do have, Project Broadcast does have one thing where you can capture their name, but you have to ask them for that, and then they have to fill it in. I don't generally do that. I just correspond with them just with their phone number until they become a consultant or a customer. Then I get their name, and then I add their name into it. So, yeah, good question. So, would you like to see one of my campaigns? This is the new delivery customer campaign. The first text is the welcome text, and this is where I send them, I think I mentioned already, I don't remember if I did or not. I made a tutorial video of how the delivery service works, and I include that in my first text to them, and that has really cut down on the confusion, that has really cut down on people dropping out of delivery service early. Now, I did that tutorial myself so that they see my face. I think it's more personal that way. But if you don't have the technical ability to do that, involving editing and all that kind of stuff, Thrive actually has a video called How to Manage Your Delivery Service, and it's found in the Resource Center. You go to the Resource Center, click over on the right where it says Filters, and you click the Business Training filter, and then you can find that video and just put that right in, and it explains how to manage their delivery service on a monthly basis. So then, message 2, 1 day delay, so they get this the next day. I talk about order history and tracking, where they can find their order history so they can check on their order, and where they can find tracking information about their order. Day 6. So there's a 5-day delay before they get the next one. People ask me a lot, does Thrive have a cookbook? Well, no, but they do have a recipe site. So in this message, I tell them about that they can receive the newsletter, I tell them where to check on that so they can get it, and where they can find the recipe site. No delivery back orders 20 days out. You know how the delivery service works? If you put something in your delivery, but it goes out of stock before your order processes, it gets removed from your order, and then there's a chance that it drops below $99, and then you have to pay shipping. That gets customers upset, quite frankly, because they thought they were good, and all of a sudden they didn't get one of the things they ordered, and they have to pay shipping. So I send this out 20 days after their first order, so it's in time for them to make changes, and I tell them how the system works, and I explain that, and I recommend to them that they check their order a day or two before the processing date to make sure that everything is still in stock and to make sure that it's the way they want it. A lot of people really thank me for this one. And then, 40 days out. By now they've received their second delivery, and I tell them about the customer referral program, because hopefully by now they've tried their food, they like it, so I tell them about that. So I started out, hey Susie, would you like to earn some free Thrive Life food? And then I go ahead and talk about the customer referral program. And then the last one, I must be holding this upside down or something. Message 6, day 44. become a consultant. So I start this. Well, a couple days ago, I told you how you can earn free food by referring a customer. How would you like to earn free food and a commission? And then I put my business opportunity video in there. And so this is aimed at converting customers into consultants. And now, don't forget, all of this is on autopilot. All I did was took a customer name when they first signed up and enrolled them manually into my new delivery customer campaign. All of this happens automatically. I don't have to think about it again. And it's converting customers into consultants. Can you see the power of this?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fabulous. Now there's another thing in Project Broadcast called tags. And this is a group of contacts. And you can actually send out a blast text to everyone within that one tag. For instance, when somebody signs up for the recipes campaign, I'm probably going to have just one text that they receive automatically that welcomes them. And I might have one that goes out automatically that gives them a recipe. But then after that, every month, I would come up with my recipe, prepare my text, and then just blast it out to the entire tag called recipes, and it goes out to everyone who's in that tag. So I can just, every month I can write a new email and send it out to everybody.
Do you mean email or text?
Text, I'm sorry. Yeah, I send out a new text to everybody. So, what kind of tags do I have? Customers, I actually have 3 different tags. Because remember, I talk to delivery customers differently from what I talk to retail customers. So, when a customer signs up, I put all of them into customers all, and then I put them into either delivery or retail, depending on which one they are. Now, why would I do that? If I'm going to send out a text about the Black Friday sale, I'm going to send it out to everybody. I'm going to send it out to all. If I'm going to send out the monthly special, I send it out to the delivery, because only you have to be delivery to get that, right? Then I take the monthly special and I also send it out to the retail tag, but in there I say, look at these great specials. If you want to take advantage of it, you have to join the monthly delivery service, and then explain more about how that works. So every customer that I get goes into 2 tags. They all go into all, and then they go into whichever one pertains to them. Consultants, I have all consultants. I have consultants on my first level, and then I have consultants further down, so that I can send out a tag to whichever one group that I want. And then biz op, people that have showed interest in the business opportunity or in the recipes, those are separate tags so that I can send out a blast text to them as well. And then there's something called keywords, and this is where it all comes together. A keyword is a word that you design, you choose, where if they text that one keyword to your text number, the system will automatically enroll them into a campaign and into a tag. So I have the keyword Thrive. And in the bottom of every one of my videos on YouTube, I have a paragraph there that says, if you would like to learn more about becoming a Thrive Life consultant and about the opportunity there, just text the word Thrive to my text phone number. That, as soon as they do that, it automatically enrolls them in that campaign. I automatically start sending out email or texts to them. It's completely automated. Half the time I don't even know how many have done that unless I go look until they sign up. It gives me ongoing contact with them. I get probably 2 or 3 a week that use the Thrive keyword. So 2 or 3 people a week are requesting information about the business, and it's all automated. Isn't that cool? I love that. Recipes, same thing. Would you like to get a monthly text from me with a recipe about how to cook with Thrive? So they send the word, they text the word recipes, and the system automatically puts them into there. Now, I use them both on the bottom and the description of my YouTube videos, and it works very well for me. But you say, well, I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't have any kind of a social media presence. It's okay. Both of these work extremely well if you're doing a tasting or a booth at a trade show or something like that. Let's say you're talking to somebody and they're showing some interest in the business opportunity, but you don't quite convince them. So what do? As they walk away, you give them a business card and you never hear from them again. If you're doing this, if they're not quite convinced, you just say, hey, would you like to learn more about the Thrive opportunity? Just text the word Thrive to my number and I'll send you more information. And as soon as they do that, then you got their information. Yes.
I have a team member that did the giveaway. So instead of a raffle,
Okay.
they had them text giveaway right at the booth.
Okay.
And it was awesome. She captured them. She had their text from then on, and then she just picked from that. I think it tagged with like a date too, so she could know which event it was from. And then now she has them forever. People will do that faster than writing out a whole info form of what they want.
Especially because they're used to texting now. You know, you see how versatile this thing is. Let your imagination run, and you can come up with all kinds of ways to use this. Now another one that I use is Zoom, and I use this with my team. There was a time when I did a live Zoom training with my team every month. I've kind of gotten away from it recently, but I need to get back to it again. But what I would do is send out a blast text to my entire team. I would tell them I have this Zoom training coming up next Monday night. Here's the topic. If you're interested in attending, text the word Zoom, reply with Zoom. So what does that do? First of all, it keeps all of that cluttered information out of people who are not interested. It only sends it to the ones who are interested. But it also lets me know ahead of time how many people are interested. Did I get 3 or did I get 30 who responded back with the Zoom? It kind of gives me more of an idea of what's going to happen, on Monday night when I do that Zoom call and what to expect. Now, how do you learn all of this? How do you learn how to use Project Broadcast? Well, Project Broadcast has a lot of really good training right within their app. And it's embedded right in there. For instance, one of the things that I use is customized text. Hello, first name, that thing there. If you put that in your text, it will automatically take the first name of your contact and insert it into the text before it goes out. That's one of the reasons that your people think you typed it right out for them, because you've put their name in it. So how do you do that? Well, there's training for all of that. So this is a shot of my Project Broadcast on my computer, and you see right down here the 3 little lines. That's called the More tab, because you click on there and you get more. So you click on there, you see training videos. They're very fast and easy to find. They're all short. They're like 3 to 5 minutes, and they all just one topic, like how to do a customized text. So you just go through all those, and you're going to get 98% of your questions answered just from those, because they're very good. So, would you like to see my BizOp campaign?
Yeah.
Okay,
How much is the program a month to use?
I will get into that in just a second.
All right.
So if you text the word Thrive to my phone number, this is my texting phone number, then you will receive my complete BizOp campaign, which is 10 texts over the next 10 days. And the first text will include a link to the BizOp video that I did in Cancun. So you can see what I did, and you can use this. I really highly recommend that you make your own BizOp video. It doesn't have to be as fancy or as complicated as mine. Obviously, my story isn't your story. So you come up with your story, and if you don't feel like you have any success that you can talk about, then talk about why you love Thrive, or talk about what your goals are in helping people eat healthier or whatever. Just use mine as a kind of a basic guideline or idea to be able to make your own. And mine has a lot of editing and all that kind of stuff. You can just do it on your phone and just send it right to, I recommend that you put it on YouTube, but I don't have a YouTube channel. Well, if you have any kind of a YouTube account so that you can subscribe to other channels, then you've got a channel, you just haven't uploaded any videos yet. So you can go there and upload a video. You can make it public, or you can make it unlisted, whatever you want to do. That way, anybody that asks about the business, you just send them to your BizOp video. So you can see my entire campaign over the next 10 days. Anything that you see there that you want to use and copy, you're welcome to. just, change any links that I might have there and any videos. I mean, if you even want to use my BizOp video, I guess you'd be welcome to. I don't think I put any of my personal links in there, I don't remember. But you can use mine as a guideline. If any verbiage that I've used, you're welcome to use as well, yes.
So, if you're not comfortable with video too, in Project Broadcast, there's landing pages.
Right.
And so I don't know if you were gonna go over that, but where you can get away from that like 1,000 character limit, you can actually set up like a little page with more pictures and more info.
So then you just send them a link to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Project Broadcast has a lot that I haven't even explored yet. She's talking about that you can get your own landing page through Project Broadcast. Instead of a video, you send them to the landing page. I haven't done that because I'm comfortable with videos, but that is possible. So what is the cost? Right now, it's $15 a month, but this month it's going up to $18 a month, but that's for 500 credits. So you spend 1 credit every time a scheduled text goes out. So if I put somebody in my BizOp campaign, every time one of those scheduled texts goes out, it costs me 1 credit. But then if they see that and they text back to me a question and I text back to them and it starts into a chat like that, well, there's free chat. I can chat as long as I want to. It doesn't cost me a thing. The only thing that costs me is if I...
The initial reach out?
The initial, any scheduled text that goes out, or when I send out a blast text. Like if I send out, to my delivery customers about the monthly special, it costs me 1 credit for each one that goes out. So
If it's a keyword, is that a credit?
What?
If they do a keyword to you, does that count as a credit?
No, I think it's not the ones you receive. It's only the ones that send out. I see what you're asking. I don't know.
I guess your initial one that goes out when they do the keyword would use a credit.
I would say that would,
Probably.
yeah.
So
Not
I
when
just texted you and I said Thrive.
Okay.
I put your number down and I did Thrive, and I've already gotten a text back. So
Okay.
did
You
you,
have a 1 minute
did
delay.
you pay a point for that?
I paid 1 point for
Okay.
that, yes. So,
We don't mind.
So it's a
Thanks,
point
Bill.
per person.
a point per text that goes out.
So if you have one text that goes to 20 people, that's 20 points.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes. So, also when you sign up for this, you get a phone number that Project Broadcast provides a whole bunch of them, and you can pick one. So you can't actually use your own personal phone number, you have to use theirs. But
I wouldn't want to use
the
my own.
$18 a month gives
That's a
you,
good
it's a
point.
text-only number, so people can't call me on that, they can only text. But for an additional fee, you can also turn it into a regular phone line. So if you want to use that as a business phone, you can do that. That way you send out a text, if somebody tries to call you on that number, you can still answer.
No, which one do you do? Do you do the 500 credits?
I do the 500, and then every once in a while I start to run short, so I go up to 1,000 for a month or two,
Okay.
and then I back off again. You can change it.
Yeah.
It depends on how many
They
blast
roll
texts.
over
I send.
too.
Yeah, they roll over. So I
Oh.
didn't text for a couple months and I have so many credits. I just need to get busy.
Yeah. Yes, they do roll over. If you don't use them, they keep rolling over.
And they're only
So-
the outcoming ones, outgoing ones?
Yeah, the ones that you schedule.
Only the ones that you send out, So now, I do have a link here for you. If you text the keyword PB, Project Broadcast, to my number, I'll give you a link where you can get 50% off of your first month. Also, Jody is using it. If you're here, if Jody invited you, talk to her about getting her link. But this will send you the link to get.
And Melissa.
And me.
Yes. Anyone who, if they invited you and they're using it, please go talk to them about it. So, any questions? Yes.
So I'm going to show my ignorance. So that 50% off, is that something you're having reduced from your commissions or what? I'm confused.
Yes, this is an affiliate program. So if you sign up through my link, that's why I'm saying talk to them. If you sign up for my link, I can give you 50% off, and then I get 10%. So I'm going to earn $1.80 on your monthly subscription. Which if you can do the same thing too, as far as signing up for an affiliate program.
So if you teach it to your teams, then you can share your link to them and it can pay for your subscription basically. You're not going to get rich off of it. But.
Exactly. Yeah. So, any other questions? Yes.
One of the things that I've really appreciated knowing about this is that you're not like buying people's names from somebody. These are names that you are getting yourself in whatever way that you're doing the business. So they know what is going to happen when they start themselves on this project. You're not like sneaking up on somebody, getting their name from some way, and suddenly start to blast them. You know, they've asked for it, and you're very honest about what's going to be coming. You know, he lets people know, and it doesn't happen real often. But this is honestly one thing where if they if they put the text in and says stop, it stops.
Yeah,
So-
I didn't mention that. At the end of about every other text or so, I just say, if you don't want to receive any more text from me, just reply with the word stop, and you'll be unsubscribed.
So people don't feel like that they're being, you know, stopped or something. You know, they can stop it if they want.
Right.
I'm sorry, go ahead, dear.